One-pagers are the crack cocaine of B2B sales content. No. They're the espresso shot of B2B sales content. Short, strong, and designed to give someone exactly what they need to decide whether they want more. Imagine someone coming up to you and saying, "I'm okay talking to you for 30 seconds, actually 10 seconds, but then I'm most likely going to want to leave." Now, you don't want to hand that person an extensive, detail-oriented white paper. No, you want to hand them a one-pager. You see this happen all the time at conferences with these one-pagers that can either be throwaway paper treated like a placemat, or an "I'll fold this in half and put it in my backpack to review when I get back home" kind of thing. One-pager is like a mini sales pitch without the awkwardness, pressure, and weird icebreakers. Now, a good one-pager answers the specific and important questions a prospect has when they're considering buying from you for the first time, or when they're getting serious and need something quick to circulate internally. They want to know things like, what do you do? Who do you do it for? Why is it valuable? How does it work? And most importantly, why should they keep interacting with you? Now, the beauty of a one-pager is in the constraint. You only have a single page to work with. Actually, one-pager is a bit of a misnomer because it's actually 2 pages on one sheet of paper, front and back. So you get a single double-sided sheet of paper to work with. Twice the space of a one-pager. Regardless, that means there's no room for marketing fluff or filler. There's no nice-to-have sections. Everything on the page has to earn its spot. Like I said, it's the crack cocaine of B2B sales content, so the headline needs to hit instantly. The body content should be broken into easy-to-scan sections. The visuals, they need to help, but without distracting. So this isn't the place to test your new AI-generated clip art collection. Now, there are a few common types of one-pagers that consistently work. Product one-pagers, which explain what your solution is, what problems it solves, and how it works. Industry-specific one-pagers that show how your solution applies to a certain vertical or a use case. Campaign or event one-pagers that support a specific initiative like a new product launch or a trade show. Pain point-specific one-pagers. They should twist the knife in somebody's side and make them remember the pain they're dealing with and that your solution is the cure. And comparison or competitive one-pagers, which demonstrate how your solution is better than your competitors, with like a feature comparison chart with green check marks and red X's and some compelling statistics. Now, when I create a one-pager, I start by asking, what do we want the reader to think when they read this? In many cases, it's as simple as they should be thinking this is a great looking one-pager that gives them valuable information in a quick and easy format. And then I'll ask myself, what do we want the reader to do after seeing this one-pager? Maybe they want to book a demo or share the one-pager with procurement or get their CTO's attention. That goal drives everything else about the one-pager, like what goes in, what gets cut, and how it's presented. In other words, if it doesn't serve the goal of the one-pager, cut it out. Like, just don't include it. You have to be vigilant when you're writing a one-pager. Now, design plays a huge role here, especially since most one-pagers are just downloadable and printable PDFs. A good one-pager is clean, visually balanced, and branded. It'll have key stats, quotes, or outcomes, and those should get prominent visual priority. Any visuals you use on a one-pager should make your concepts clearer and not just prettier. White space is your friend because it keeps the content approachable instead of feeling like you're reading the back of a Lucky Charms box. And like every other asset in this series, because this video is about one-pagers and a series about B2B content, distribution matters. Obviously, you're not going to build an entire campaign around a one-pager, but one-pagers should be in your sales team's hands, ready to attach to an email or drop in a LinkedIn message or to hand out at an event. They can be great conversation starters for cold outreach or reinforcement after a first meeting. They should support campaigns and ongoing sales conversations, not be the center of them. One-pagers aren't the center of, well, pretty much anything because they're quick and easy way to get someone's attention and provide answers to key questions. Now, the best one-pagers are ones that sales reps actually want to use. Recently, I've been writing a lot of one-pagers for sales teams, and they've been incredibly effective. We know they're being shared by people who are receiving them, and they're creating a new excitement for my client. That sales team, and even people not on the sales team, are excited to see new content that answers specific questions for the market. That means that my one-pagers are accurate, helpful, and aligned with how the sales team talks about the product. And if you want help with that, you know where to reach me. Bad one-pagers, however, are relatively easy to spot. They're full of features and jargon. They look like giant walls of text. Oh, they're so boring. They're generic, fluffy. The language has no clear call to action. They're complicated. They miss key facts. They're outdated. They suck. Bad one-pagers are just documents you want to throw away, and they'll just make people sad. And you don't want to make people sad. A one-pager's not supposed to do that. All right, one-pagers are perfect for sparking interest and making a quick, powerful point. But what happens when a prospect is getting serious? They say, hey, I like your one-pager. Then what next? Well, before they buy, they or someone from their technical team will want to know if your product is well supported and well documented. And after they buy, they'll need to know how to use it. That's where product documentation becomes a surprisingly critical sales asset. In our next video, we will talk about why product documentation isn't just for customers, it's also for closing deals.